Peace, family. So if you haven't already, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell to be updated on new drops and content. So Alfonso Ribeiro, he's well known for his place as Carlton Banks in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And, when we think of him, a lot of people think of a specific type of character, sometimes a square, sometimes an Uncle Tom, sometimes, somebody who's constantly trying to fit in with others and denounce his own heritage. But recently, Alfonso Ribeiro spoke out and saying he feels as though being in a mixed relationship with his white wife means he'll never be fully supported in the black community, which, a lot of people have came out and trashed and said it's a complete lie. I think, to be honest, when we think of black people, they're definitely the most inviting people, I would say, and some may say that's biased, but I don't believe so. I believe in terms of relationships and what I've seen in my own experience, studies, and understanding, is for the most part, blacks will invite in people from other nationalities, races, and creeds. Others, there's usually more so hostility, especially when the person is black, which often leads to the person needing to either super embrace the other culture and make, sort of appease the other people to not show too much of their own sort of culture and make them, think, okay, well, I'm assimilating in with you. So I think it's erroneous him saying he's never going to be fully supported in a black household with his white wife. I think that was a lie. So he said, he was quoted to say to Atlanta Black Star that this happens to him almost every day. He feels typecast and ostracized from the black community at large. He says he's in a mixed relationship and he gets things like looks and comments constantly, and he finds it very interesting because you see a lot of things on social media where people say things and have positions and perspectives, and it's not easy to make that choice because they're not in his home. And he says he's never going to be white, but at the same time, he's never going to be fully supported in the black house. Now, we've seen people chime in with comments and say they need him to stop blaming his white wife for not being accepted in the black community. He needs to just come to terms with the fact that he's accumulated being trashed on his own merit, shucking and jiving for white folk his whole career. So Ribeiro, who married a writer called Angela Unkrich in 2012, has said he contributed that's contributed to a feeling like the black community don't accept him. He says, I'm in my own little world with support from almost no one. To be in love with someone I've fallen in love with, how does that make sense? It doesn't. We all want to live in a world where everyone is accepted for being and loving and living the way they choose to live. I will support any person that wants to live in a world that they want to live in. I live in a mixed world. I love in a mixed world. I live in a black world, and I love in that world. I feel everyone should be supported. So it seems he's asking support from the black community to support him in his mixed relationship, which for the most part is often supported, like I said, from the other nationality or the other culture that you mix with. Sometimes it tends to go that way. Point in case, I was recently in an entanglement with somebody from the Pakistani community, and they would have wanted me to convert into their form of Islam and, sort of appease their family and stuff. So it would have been the same thing. I wouldn't have had quote unquote support from the black community. But I think he's wrong to blame it on the black community by him doing that. At the same time, it's a show to me of him sort of, there's a lot of black people out there with women from other races and nationalities that are well and truly accepted. There's no issues, so I think in his case, like some of the comments have said, it's just his disconnection that is accumulated. And, I don't want to just put him out there and say because he acts a certain way. We've got relatives who are pretty square in their way. Some have been guests on this podcast and have been likened to Carlton Banks. So we always get that thing with Carlton and the Fresh Prince where you got the cool cousin from the hood, and then you got the cousin from out in the suburbs that's, devoid of a lot of understanding and stuff like that. However, sometimes art often imitates life and vice versa. So, it's interesting to see Alfonso using his voice in this manner. What do you guys think? Do you think he's always represented? Some people say at least he's been a funny character, memorable, and he's given us all the Carlton Banks dance. So let us know your thoughts in the comments. Peace. Peace, family. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and check us out on about.online.com. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook for exclusive playlists and social media for all different types of segments and content.